September is National Preparedness Month, and now is the perfect time to get ready for any potential disasters. Joining us now is Mandy McMahon, a spokesperson with the American Red Cross. And Mandy, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having us on.
All right, well, let's talk about hurricanes and preparedness. You know, we've already passed the peak of hurricane season, but that doesn't mean it's time to start letting our preparations kind of disappear, is it?
Certainly not. No, the best time to prepare for a disaster is well before it happens. So we're glad to talk about this today, and we encourage everyone to sit down with your families and make a plan. It's never too early or too late to do so. So make a plan to stay home, and make a plan to evacuate if you're told to by officials for any type of hazard.
Oh, I totally agree with you. You have to actually have multiple plans depending on the situation. Now, Mandy, what are some of the overlooked issues that people do or miss when in preparing for tropical systems?
Yeah, the number one issue is a lack of preparedness. So we ask folks to be thinking about your stay-at-home plan and your evacuation plan, and you can consider everyone in your family what those unique needs are for pets, children, older adults. Everyone has unique needs. So think about what you will include in your plans for how you will where you'll go if you need to leave, how you'll get there, and where you'll stay. And then we also ask that you think about hazards that might present should you live further inland. So of course we think about coastal communities being at risk during hurricanes from heavy winds and flooding from heavy rains or storm surge, but there can also be impacts hundreds of miles inland. And those effects could be heavy winds, rain, and even tornadoes. So it's important to think about now what you'll do if should you stay or if you need to leave.
You know, obviously, some of the common things in our kits are water, some type of food. What are some of the things that we might not know about to put in our go kits for whether it's a tropical storm close to us or if we're inland?
Definitely. Food, water, and medicine are those most important items, but also think about how you'll charge your devices and medical equipment. So pack extra batteries for those items that are going to be essential for your survival and for your comfort. We also suggest that people bring water. 1 gallon per person per day is what's recommended. We also suggest that you safely secure important documents that would be difficult to replace or find if they're damaged. You can also bring hard copies of those in your emergency kit. So these are the things that we recommend. We also suggest that you download apps that can help you be prepared. So the Red Cross Emergency app is a great resource that will give you expert safety tips, but also in-time weather alerts. And this is used in conjunction with your local government alerts as well that will give you those alerts should you need to evacuate.
Let's talk about evacuations just for a second, okay? How can people plan ahead if whether or not they're going to need to evacuate? What are some things or some tips that you could talk about that?
Definitely. We suggest that if you are told to evacuate by local emergency management, do so. Don't stay and try to wait it out. That's a huge hazard, and can be costly in the terms of lives. So we recommend that folks take the advice of local emergency management officials, get a weather radio that can give you those alerts as well in case phone networks are down or you lose power and can't watch the news, for example. But definitely we recommend folks take the time to plan now and evacuate if you need to. Also, it's important if you are evacuating, use the marked routes. Don't try to take a shortcut in case they could be blocked by storm debris. And also remember, turn around, don't drown. Never try to drive, walk, or swim through floodwaters.
Now, one other thing let's talk about quickly is what are some things that people tend to forget about when they're putting their plans together? For example, in May, a lot of people get prepared for tropical season and then they don't do anything until the end of the season when something happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. You want to keep your go kit prepared. So refresh those stocks. Make sure that you have non-perishable food items, that those are still what your family needs if you need to evacuate. So it's just important to keep those plans fresh. Communicate with your family members, communicate with work, with school, with daycare, how everyone will meet up if there is a need to evacuate. These are the important things to consider now when we're not panicked. So that's what we recommend.
You know, and also just to widen this out a little bit, we talk about the tropics a lot, but honestly, being prepared is something that just about everybody in the country, I think, should think about.
Absolutely. The great news about a preparedness plan or your go kit is that it doesn't change hazard to hazard. So, just what's important is to think about your family's unique needs. Make sure that you've accounted for pets, older adults, young children in those plans and in your go kit. That's what's important. You can also think too about readying your home now. So, do you have space in your garage cleared out so that you can put lawn furniture or other items that could become projectiles in heavy winds? Can you make sure that you have room to do that right now, or secure your grill to your deck? These are the things that we can do right now to prepare, so we're not stressed out when a disaster does hit.
Great advice. Mandy, we thank you for taking the time with us, and we certainly appreciate your organization and all the great work that you all do there. So thank you very much.